She is a management consultant, a registered professional chemical engineer, a trained QMS lead auditor BSI Malaysia. Please welcome our speaker, Engineer Jeneline F. Macaya.
Quality morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Can I see your reactions, no, to make this webinar more lively? May I request po to use your reaction button? Pwede po tayong magpa-popper dyan, no? New Year ngayon, so may pasabog tayo. Okay, so thank you so much for attending to our first webinar for 2021. And the title of our webinar is more on the understanding of ISO, the introduction to ISO 9001:2015 Quality Management System. And again, I'm Jen. I would be your facilitator trainer for this morning. And again, welcome to everyone. So let me share my screen. So the title of our webinar for this morning is an introduction on ISO 9001:2015 Quality Management System. So since this is a free webinar, thank you so much for attending, no, and for giving us your time. We are grateful to see your faces. There are familiar names, no? Meron tayong mga suki na sa ating mga webinar. Thank you so much for always being with us. And for those who are first time to attend our webinar, you are very welcome, and I hope that this could help you in improving, no, your performance in your organization. Before I start with our training, with our webinar for today, may I know sino po sa atin ang ISO certified na? No, yung inyong company ay ISO certified na. So, kindly type in our chat box. Let kindly state the name of your company if you are already certified to ISO 9001:2015 or to other ISO management system. Okay? So thank you from Albatech Engineering. So they are certified. Napolcom, thank you po. Franklin Baker. Yan, nagkanda kami last year ng training sa Franklin Baker. We have MCOR. Yes, I also visited them, I think 2 years ago, no? Yes, we have our BSU, our Benguet State University. Yes, they are certified. We also have our Philippine Science High School. Okay, STI, yes. Okay, sino pa po ang ating marami po tayong mga schools ngayon, ano? So from universities and even yung ating mga uh, learning institution from Benby Enterprises Incorporated. Yan, they're also certified. Thank you for all the responses. Meron pa po ba ng mga certified na to ISO 9001:20? Yes, Cornell. Our friends from Cornell Brothers Company, Pilipinas Incorporated, they are certified to both, I think, ISO 14001 and ISO 9001:2015, no? LRA. Okay, thank you, sir, for responding. Sino pa po ang ating Yes, Pride Food, Ma'am Junlin, thank you po. So they are also certified to ISO 9001:2015. Sino pa po sa atin? Yan. For those po na hindi pa certified, it's okay because this will also be very helpful, no? Dahil in one of the sections that we will discuss later on, makikita po natin doon kung paano tayo magsi-set up, no, ng ating ISO sa ating organization. We also have from Albatech Engineering. Yan. Thank you po. Alright, so I'm sure marami pa pong hindi nagta-type ng inyong company name kung kayo certified na. So pero dahil kailangan na nating ma-move on, mamaya ko na lang po babasahin ulit ang inyong mga company name, no? So let's now start with our webinar on Introduction on ISO 9001:2015 or our Quality Management System. Okay, so before we go to the different sections that we are to start, let's have some introduction on the different global indices, no, related to the economic status of the country. Okay, so kami po sa Quality Plus, we normally begin our discussion, especially kung bago pa lang po yung aming client to ISO, with these indices. Kasi we believe that whenever an organization improved its effectiveness, its efficiency, there's always an effect to our overall economic condition, no, dito sa Pilipinas. So tingnan po muna natin yung ating first index, which is yung ating Global Competitiveness Index. No? So this index is a measure of the level of productivity of an economy, which in turn sets the level of prosperity that a country can achieve. Okay, so yung Global Competitiveness Index po, this is a measure of productivity of an economy. So dito po natin malalaman gaano ba ka-effective ang isang bansa. At kung productive po yung isang bansa, ito po ay may kinalaman din sa kanyang pagiging maunlad. Okay, so kung titingnan po natin from Global Competitiveness Index is conducted by World Economic Forum from 137 countries. Ang ranking po ng ating bansa, no, ng Pilipinas from 2017 to 2018 ay pang number 56. So, yung number 56 na yon, medyo angat tayo, no? Ang gitna ng 137 is nasa 75, right? So medyo nakaangat tayo, pang 56 tayo, no? Pero nung 2019, nag-drop tayo to number 64. Okay? Number 64. So kung mapapansin natin, no, merong drop dun sa ating overall ranking sa 137 countries. Pero in terms of the ASEAN region, okay, kung dati 2017 to 2018 pang-7 tayo, nung 2019 pang-6 na tayo. So medyo naangatan natin ang Vietnam. Pero ganun pa man, no, masasabi natin na malaki pa yung kailangan i-improve ng productivity ng ating ekonomiya. No, kaya nga po every time I conduct training on quality management system, laging ang battle cry ko, no, together with Q Plus team, na kailangan tayo as an individual efficient tayo kasi yung contribution natin sa ating company will will um will become a contribution to the overall economic condition of our country, no? So lahat tayo may participation para umunlad yung ating bansa. And the criteria used for Global Competitiveness Index are the following, no? So kasama dito yung institutions, okay, yung infrastructure. So meron tayo dito mga participants from infrastructure, from macroeconomic environment, health, primary education, higher education. So meron tayo dito mga universities, no, meron tayong mga government schools dito, no? And kasama din dito yung good market efficiency. Okay, so dito naman po papasok yung ating mga manufacturing sectors, labor market efficiency, yung ating nasa service sectors, no? Financial market development, technological readiness, market size, business sophistication, and innovation. So ito po yung mga ginamit nila na criteria para ma-measure pang ilan tayo dun sa Global Competitive Index, no? So pang 64 po tayo and we are 6th in the ASEAN region. Okay, so let's move on. Tingnan naman po natin when it comes to ISO certification, no? So 2019 po naitala ng ISO na meron pong 4,434 certifications in ISO 9001 2015 sa ating bansa, no? So comparatively mataas po 'yan do sa nakaraang taon. At kung titingnan po natin sa ASEAN region, pang ilan po tayo, no? Noong 2019 sa bilang ng mga certified companies. So number 1 po ay ang Thailand, okay? Followed by Malaysia, okay? Then sumunod po ang Indonesia at pang-apat po tayo Philippines, no? Then we have Vietnam and Singapore. So kung mapapansin po natin sa mga bansang nabanggit natin, makikita din po natin yung mabilis na paglago sa kanilang mga ekonomiya dahil sa mas naging organized yung iba't ibang companies sa kanilang bansa. Okay, at nakakatuwa nga po no na makita na ang Pilipinas unti-unti pong tumataas yung number of certification. Ibig sabihin, naniniwala na po tayo ngayon pagdating sa quality management system, no? So, unlike dati, ang liit po ng ating ranking, no? And as we can see dun sa ibang mga countries na hindi pa ganun kadami yung certification, pwede nating ma-compare yan dito sa Global Competitiveness Index, no? Kung nasaan yung mga wala pa talagang certification. Okay? So, pag po pumunta tayo sa ibang bansa, let's say for example in Malaysia, makikita po natin halos lahat ng kanilang mga produkto, especially yung food, no, they are certified to ISO. Okay, so they make sure that the food and other products and services that they give to the customers are of good quality. Okay, so tingnan naman po natin pagdating sa ease of doing business. This one naman is conducted by World Bank Group. Okay, so kung titingnan po natin ang ating ranking, overall ranking in the yung global ranking natin, we are 113th. Okay, so medyo mababa yung ating ranking. Pero pagdating ng 2020, tumaas tayo, naging 95. Ano naman po yung ibig sabihin ng ease of doing business? Ito po yung measure kung gaano kasimple yung mga regulations related to business. Like for example, in application, mga permit applications, no? So, pag magsi-set up ka ng business, gaano ka bilis makapag-set up ng business. So, wala po itong kinalaman sa security, ano? Ito po ay may kinalaman sa kung gaano kabilis yung processing ng mga permits para makapag-start yung isang business. And is glad to know that from 2017, tumaas tayo, no? Naging 95 na tayo noong 2020. So yung mga indices po na yan, makikita po natin no na malaki yung kinalaman no ng pagiging organized, pagiging systematic, pagkakaroon ng sistema sa ating mga organization para ma-achieve natin itong mga global indices na ito. No, I could say that in the ease of doing business, malaki yung participation ng ating government sector. No, that's why marami rin tayong halos karamihan ng ating mga government offices are now certified to ISO 9001:2015. No, that's the basic, and I believe that that is also one of the requirement for them no sa ating mga government offices no. So yan po yung mga indices, magandang makita natin yan para yung ating ginagawa no, yung ating pagiging efficient, yung ating quality output sa mga work natin, mai-connect natin yan, ano ba yung pupuntahan ng lahat ng ginagawa natin. So meron po tayong participation para ma-achieve no yung ating magandang economic status. Okay. So with that, ito po yung magiging course outline. Ito po yung ating discussion for this morning. We have 4 sections, starting with defining quality, that's section 1. Section 2 is the introduction to ISO 9001:2015 or our quality management system. Okay? And then for our section 3, we have the requirements. So I'll give you the overview of the requirements of ISO 9001:2015. And lastly, we want to assist you no, by means of discussing how to set up our ISO 9001:2015 kung hindi pa po tayo certified. Okay? So let's now begin. By the way, if you have questions, every section po I will pause and we will accommodate your questions. Pero kung hindi po makapag-antay, it's okay lang po that you type in your question and I will read it para po hindi natin makalimutan kung meron tayong mga katanungan. Okay? So let's now go to our section 1, defining quality. So when we talk about quality, medyo malaki yung word na yan, ano? Ano po yung unang pumapasok sa inyong isip pag sinabing quality? Yan, pwede po bang i-type ninyo sa ating chat box ano yung unang pumapasok sa isip ninyo pag narinig ninyo yung salitang quality? Yan, quality. Sige po. Standard, no? According to our representative from METS Logistic, pag quality, may standard. From QCPD, maganda. Okay? So, from PSHS, so quality standard. From Crystal Cold Chain, sabi niya, fitness for use. Wow, it has something to do with the performance. Okay? Other idea that comes in your mind when you hear the word quality. Okay, maganda, standard, fitness for use. Ano pa po ang unang pumapasok sa inyong isip? Quality. Pag bumili kayo ng gadget, ano yung masasabi ninyong may quality? Pag kumain kayo, ano yung masasabi ninyong may quality? Yan. Sige po, please type your question. So, hindi ko na kayo i-interviewin kasi masyado tayong marami, no? So, kung sino lang po yung gustong mag-type, okay, sa ating
Ay, disable din ako kung chat.
okay, medyo na-disable po yung ating chat. Kindly check na lang po sa ating team. Okay, ganyan po talaga kapag live, ano, medyo may mga konting glitches. Anyway, later balikan ko po, no? So, ayan. So, open na po ulit yung ating chat box. Okay? So, fitness for use, quality, maganda. Ano pa po yung unang pumapasok sa inyong isip pag narinig ang word na quality? Wow, ganda yun, ano? Customer satisfaction, okay? Product satisfaction, excellent. Ano pa? Absence of defects, wow. Ano pa po? No defect, okay? Efficient and effective degree of excellence. Ang gaganda po ng mga ideas natin, ano? And let's see, no, yung definition ng ating quality. Of course, we will base our definition on another ISO document, which is our ISO 9000-2015. Okay, so whenever we talk about definition, lagi po tayong babalik dun sa ISO document. Okay? Yung atin pong ISO 9000-2015, ito po yung mga terms and definitions. Okay? So, according to that document, quality means the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills a set of requirements. Okay? So, merong dalawang set of characteristics na pinagkukumpara pag kung gusto nating malaman yung quality. Meron ditong sinasabi na inherent characteristic sa ating mga products and services. Bago tayo makapag-provide sa ating client, no, kino-conceptualize pa lang natin yung ibibigay nating product or service, meron na yan kaagad characteristic. For example, if you are in a service industry, ano ba yung mga characteristics sa kadalasang tinitingnan sa ating service? Let's say the response time, gaano kabilis tayo mag-respond, no? Kaya naman the accuracy of our report, okay? Or the quality of our service, o yung let's say sabihin natin yung completeness ng ating service o yung fitness of use of our service dun sa need ng ating requirement ng ating customer. So those are the inherent characteristic. So bago ba man tayo mag-provide ng service, meron ng mga characteristics ang ating products and services. At para masabi natin na merong quality yung ating products and services, it has to meet the set requirements. And those requirements can come from our clients, from the regulatory bodies, no, from certifying bodies, no. So yung mga yon, mga requirements na yon, ibabangga natin sa ating inherent characteristics, okay, para masabi natin kung may quality o wala. Let's say for example, response time. Ine-expect nila makapag-deliver tayo ng ating service in 5 minutes. Okay, yun ang requirement. And then, ang actual na inherent characteristic natin ay 3 minutes. O na-exceed pa natin yung kanilang requirements, no? So, kapag pinagkumpara daw natin ang inherent characteristics at ang requirements, doon natin makikita kapag na-achieve natin yung requirements, doon masasabi natin na ang ating services or ang ating product ay mayroong high or excellent quality. No? Pagdating naman sa mga manufacturing, let's say, sinabi ni client, gusto ko ganitong produkto, ito yung specs niya, naka-drawing, merong specification, may length, may height, no? Pagdating ng actual product, chinek ng kanilang QA, yun bang pinadala nating produkto, yan ba ay may tamang height, may tamang weight, may tamang length according to the specification? Pag tama, it means you have a high or excellent quality. So dapat kung apple ang hinihingi nila, dapat ang ibibigay din natin apple. Okay? Ngayon, kung ang iyong characteristic ma-exceed na niya. So kapag equal siya, the characteristic of your products and services is equal to the requirement, that resulted to customer satisfaction. Pero kapag na-exceed mo yung kanyang requirement, that results to customer delight. Yan. So higher level pala yung customer delight, no? And please bear in mind that when we talk about requirements, we are talking about explicit and implied requirements, no? When we say explicit, ito yung bini-verbalize nila. Ito yung they let us know, nakasulat, okay? O kaya naman sinasabi nila sa atin, no? So those mas madali yung ma-achieve kasi known sa atin. But there are also requirements that are implied, no, hindi nila sasabihin pero ine-expect nila na gagawin natin. For example, our customer, the way we handle our customers, yung ating pagiging polite, yung ating pagiging courteous, no? Yung mga yon hindi na yan sinasabi sa kontrata pero they are expecting it from us, no? Those are implied requirements. Okay? So dapat daw ma-achieve yon ang characteristics ng ating mga produkto para masabi natin na meron tayong quality. Okay? There are 4 elements of quality. So we have performance, promptness, price, and perception. Okay, dun sa ating chat box kanina, merong sumagot kanina, fitness for use. So ito po yung sinasabi nating performance. Nung binigay mo ba yung service mo o yung iyong produkto, nagamit ba niya according to the intended use? Okay? So let's say ang iyong service ay electricity. Okay, meron tayong taga power industry, no? So, halimbawa, sinabi niya naka-receive siya ng kuryente pero unstable naman. So, when it comes to performance, dahil unstable yung kuryente na na-receive, that is poor quality pa din kasi 'di ba, ang sinasabi natin pag performance dapat may kinalaman sa intended use. So, dapat nagagamit. So, stable. Okay? Or reliable, no? Pagdating naman sa mga produkto, let's say matibay. Halimbawa, sinabi mo, ang service life ng aming product are 5 years, umabot siya ng 6 years. Oh, maganda ang performance ng ating produkto, no? So, yun po yung isa sa element ng ating quality. Promptness has something to do with time. So, yung sinasabi kaninang turnaround time, no? May nag-chat din sa atin. Yun po yung may kinalaman sa promptness. So, kadalasan hindi lang sila after na dapat maganda yung maibigay natin, dapat mabilis din, di ba? Kasi they also have their own time. They also have their own time requirement. And very crucial yon. Let's say, for example, yung pinibigay natin sa kanilang products is the raw material for their process at na-late tayo ng delivery, it will affect their operation. So it's very important yung promptness, no? The price, okay? So ngayon ang mga tao mindful na rin sa price, ano? Naalala ko yung isang public seminar na conduct namin way 2 years ago. Nung tinanong nila how much is your consultancy package? Okay. Ang sabi ko, sir, alam ko po medyo mataas ng konti. Sabi niya, it's okay. Sabi niya, it's okay kasi kapag mababa, parang may question, bakit masyadong mababa, no? So ngayon ang mga tao, they are mindful not only in terms of performance, in terms of promptness, but minsan kapag sobrang mura, parang may question na yung quality, di ba? Halimbawa, sorry to drop the name of the country, no? Halimbawa, mga China products, no? Di ba, pag sinabi mong China, mura nga siya, pero alam mo na ano siya, no, mabilis masira or hindi siya effective, no? So, kaya kadalasan pag sinabing may kamahalan yung isang produkto, ang connotation din, siguro may kalidad ito kaya mahal. Kasi syempre may mga additional cost yung mga checking, yung mga standard, no? So, yung price, isa rin yan sa element ng quality. And of course, your image, the perception. Yun bang pag sinabi yung pangalan ng iyong company, ano yung unang pumapasok sa isip ng iyong client? Parang ano yan, ano? Pagbilan nga po ng Colgate, yung close-up, no? So pag sinabing toothpaste, isa lang yung pumapasok na pangalan kaagad kasi ganun yung perception na na-build niya. Okay? So, ano ba yung unang pumapasok sa isip ng mga clients niyo pag sinabing BSU, pag sinabing Philippine Science High School, pag sinabing MCOR, yan, ano ba yung unang pumapasok sa kanilang isip? Yun yung perception. Okay? At kung maganda yung perception na yan, maganda yung quality, no, ng ating service or ng ating product. Okay? So, please take note that the absence of any of these element in your product or service will result to customer dissatisfaction. So, ang ultimate na gusto nating mangyari, masatisfy ang ating customers. Okay, so there are different ways, no, on how to ensure that we are providing quality products and services. Unang-una, no, na pamamaraan. Ito yung mga nung hindi pa nag-e-evolve yung different methods on how to ensure yung quality ng ating products and services. Nag-umpisa yan sa quality control. Okay, so ano ba yung quality control or yung QC? It's all about checking the product quality or yung output. No, ang binabantayan mo na yung final product. Naalala ko yung first job ko, no, nung pagka-graduate ko ng college, I worked as QC. Ang ginagawa namin kasi I used to work in a manufacturing company. So, ang trabaho namin sa QC, pag lumabas na yung mga packaging, iisa-isahin yun, i-check. So wala ka nang magagawa. Ang gagawin mo na lang, isi-segregate mo yung poor quality at saka yung good quality, no? So may limitation yung QC, although maganda yon, na-check yung ating product quality, yun nga lang, hindi mo na nape-prevent yung defect. At kapag walang prevention, mas mataas yung cost nun, di ba? So, nadidetect mo lang yung defect pero hindi mo siya nape-prevent. Then yung quality control nag-evolve, naging quality assurance o ito na yung naging QA. Okay? So ano naman yung concern ng QA? It is all about ensuring product quality by controlling the process to generate defect. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin, hindi ka na nakatingin do sa final output. Ang binabantayan mo na if you are QA, you are looking at the process, no? Sa proseso pa lang makita mo na kung ano yung pwedeng maging potential defect. Okay, ma-prevent mo na kaagad 'yon. So meron tayong prevention, no? Kaso ang QA meron din siyang limitation. And the limitation is that it prevents defect or error to occur in the process but not the defect or error from other processes and interfaces. Ang binabantayan ni QA more on the production, no? Production. Pero what if yung defect galing pala siya sa purchasing pa lang ng raw material? Okay? O kaya naman during the logistics, okay? Sa pamamaraan ng pagde-deliver. Okay? So, ang tinitingnan ng QA, isang proseso lang kung saan posibleng ma-generate yung defect. But it is not looking at the overall system. Okay? So, from QC, naging QA, and itong pag-uusapan natin, yung quality management system, ito na yung para sa kabuuan. Kasama na yung ibang mga processes at mga interfaces. Bago tayo pumunta doon, okay, makikita natin na kapag meron tayong na-produce na poor quality products or service, it entails cost. No? It can be tangible or it can be intangible. Sa manufacturing, very clear. Kapag sinabi mong defect, tangible kaagad, makikita mo yung mga defective products, no? Madali mo siyang ma-segregate, no? Pero aside from the materials that are used, no? Yung loss natin from those materials that generated defect, there are also losses from time, okay? Yung time, yung financial resources, yung image natin nako-compromise din. Even sometimes it can result to loss of lives, safety, or environmental damage, no? Okay lang kung kaya siyang ibalik, no? Or bilhin, bayaran ng pera, pero what if hindi siya kayang bayaran ng pera? Like for example, image, no? So itong mga nakikita natin sa screen, these are the different costs associated to poor quality. We have rework, let's say your report, no? Laging incomplete, inaccurate. So ang tendency paulit-ulit, di ba? So sayang yung time, sayang yung resources, yung energy sa pagpiprint, no? Reject, sayang yung materials, yung energy na ginamit sa pagpo-produce ng mga na ginamit ng machines during production, yung time ng mga tao, no? Product return, goodwill cost, and warranty cost. These are some of the costs associated to poor quality. Okay? So, tingnan po natin itong short video. Ano pa yung mga possible cause of poor quality? Okay? So, panoorin po natin.
Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%. Challenger. Go with throttle up. Looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
Nancy and I are pained to the core with the tragedy of the Shuttle Challenger. This is truly a national loss.
I am deeply sorry for any accident that Toyota drivers have experienced.
They potentially have the best answers, so I know whose ass to kick.
very clear po yung message ng ating video, no? Yung mga cause of poor quality, okay lang kung yan ay financial loss kasi pwede siyang mabawi, no? Through our business operation. But if the cost of poor quality or service is environmental damage and lives, so yun po, mahirap po yung ibalik, ano? So, talking about the different ways on how to achieve our quality in the services and products that we provide, nabanggit natin kanina yung ating nabanggit po natin kanina yung ating quality control at ang ating quality assurance. Let's now go to another way on how we could make sure that our products and services are of good quality. So according to Joseph Duran, okay, sabi ni Joseph Duran, by the way, Joseph Duran is a management is a quality guru. Okay, so according to Joseph Duran, sorry po. 85% of the problem can be corrected by changing the system, and less than 15% are under the worker's control. So kung meron daw problema sa ating mga binibigay na produkto or sa mga services, pag nag-root cause analysis daw tayo, pag hinanap natin yung pinanggalingan ng problema, 85% ng contributor dun sa problem na yon is from the system. And only 15% is from the workers control or from the people, no? Pero kadalasan kapag merong mga problem, sinong unang nakikita natin? Mali kasi ginawa ni operator, hindi tama yung ginawa ni staff 1. No? Lagi ang nasisisi sino? Si tao. Kasi si tao madaling makita, pero ang system that influenced the way that person behaved or the output of that person, hindi natin yan kadalasan madaling makita. Ano ba yung mga parte ng system na tinutukoy natin? Nandiyan yung training ng tao, yung communication channel, yung equipment na ginamit. Meron ba tayong na-provide na tamang equipment? Suitable ba yun for use? Accurate ba siya? Nabigyan ba ng tamang training yung tao? Okay, meron ba tayong proper work instructions or flow para alam niya kung ano yung susundin niya, no? So those are part of the system. At ang sabi ni Joseph Duran, kung i-address natin yung 85% na yon, yung system natin, yung workers error, konti lang yung contribution niya. And in fact, no, kung titingnan natin, there are different systems or there are different methods to further lessen that 15%, no? Yung sinasabi natin mga error-proofing programs, like we have the Pokayoke or Pokayoke, and we have the behavioral-based quality, no? So yung mga yon magre-reduce further ng 15% pababa pa, no? Kung implement natin yung mga yon. Okay? So kaya very important na pag-usapan natin yung system. At diyan papasok yung ating quality management system. Okay. So ano po ba yung sinasabi ng ating quality management system? According to definition, this is a set of interrelated elements that organizations use to formulate quality policies and objectives and to establish processes needed to ensure that policies are followed and objectives are achieved. Okay, so tama po yung kaninang chinat pala, by the way, ano, na kapag pag-uusapan natin yung quality, ang titingnan natin sa system yung 4Ms 1E. Okay, pero yung isang M na yon, yung manpower, wag tayo masyadong mag-focus doon or yung man. Kasi nga, mas tingnan natin yung kabuuan ng sistema. Okay, going back to our QMS definition. So, bago pa man tayo nagsiset up ng QMS, meron ng mga different elements na present sa ating organization. Nandyan yung ating kultura, yung organizational structure. Some of us already have policies, no? May trainings and competency yung ating mga tao. What we're doing with quality management system is that we organize those interrelated elements and we formulate our quality policy. No, our quality policy is the statement of commitment that we are to provide quality products or service to our customer. No, kung tayo bilang mga Pilipino, meron tayong panunumpa sa watawat or panatang makabayan, pag sinabi nating quality policy Ito yung ating panunumpa sa ating customer. Yan, panunumpang maka-customer. Nabibigyan natin sila ng quality products and services. At itong ating mga quality policy, no, or kadalasan isa lang naman yung quality policy statement ng isang organization, ito po para masabi natin na nagawa natin ito, it has to be measurable. That's why we have to formulate our objectives. And for us to achieve these objectives, we have to establish the processes, okay, that to ensure that we are able to achieve our objectives and we are able to give, no, or we are able to fulfill the quality policy that we have given. Okay, so ang unang-unang document po pag nagko-QMS tayo ay ang quality policy. Kasi yan yung kumbaga yan yung pinagmumulan, no, ng lahat ng ating ginagawa, yung ating statement of commitment. Okay, when we talk about QMS, this follows the cycle of PDCA or yung sinasabi nating plan, do, check, and act. Okay, so when we talk about plan, this is more on establishing the objective of the system and defining the processes and resources needed to deliver results in accordance with customer requirements and the organization's policies. So pagdating sa planning po, from our quality policy, nagsiset tayo ng mga objectives, tapos dito na tayo nagsusulat ng mga procedures, ng ating mga work instructions, no, para ma-support yung achievement ng ating objectives. Okay? Next, we have the do. So whatever is planned, ano man yung mga nakasulat, ano man yung napag-agrihan natin, it has to be implemented. That is the do. Okay? So hindi lang tayo basta nagpaplano. Very important sa ating quality management system that we implement. And of course, as we implement, we have to check, tama ba yung na-implement natin? No? That's why we have to monitor and measure processes and the resulting products and services against our policies, objectives, and requirements, and we have to report the results. So dito ngayon papasok yung ginagawa nating mga recording ng ating mga parameters, no? Yung mga monitoring records natin, yung ating customer satisfaction survey, yung ating internal audit, and even our management review. And of course, the result of checking, sometimes we see non-conformities or areas for improvement, we have to act on it. No? We have to take actions to improve the performance of our quality management system. Okay, so yan po yung sinasabi nating PDCA. At ang requirements po ng ating ISO 9001:2015, lahat po yan ay maibabangga natin dito sa PDCA. No? Bawat requirement, meron po yung corresponding phase sa ating plan, do, check, and act. Hey, any question po sa introduction ng ating quality? Medyo mahaba, no? Para mas ma-embrace natin yung quality sa ating kanya-kanyang workplace. Questions po? Okay, Okay, questions po? Section 1? So far, may tanong po ba tayo? So yung mga concerns nyo po regarding sa copy ng ating presentation and webinar, our Q+ team will attend to that. Okay po? So let's now proceed to section 2 kung wala po tayong katanungan. But if you have questions, please feel free to type in your question, okay? Para po ma-assist ko po kayo. So let's go to section 2, ISO 9001:2015 or our quality management system. Okay, so may tanong po tayo, no, from our representative sa PSHS sa CAR Campus. Saan po papasok yung follow-up sa PDCA? Okay, maganda pong tanong ito, no? Ang follow-up po, pwede po yung pumasok sa ating check. Okay, check. So kasi po kapag nagpa-follow up tayo, that's also way of monitoring kung nagawa na po yung ating mga action plans or yung mga corrective actions natin, ano, if we have non-conformities. That's why kapag meron po tayong tinatawag na follow-up audit, and audit is under clause 9, yung ating yung ating check part, no? Mamaya makikita natin yung mga clauses. All right, thank you ma'am for that question. I hope that na-answer ko po yung inyong katanungan. Let's now go to section 2. Okay? So, for those who are new to ISO, Okay, we have different kinds of ISO document, no? And ISO 9001:2015 is only one of those. At yung ating ISO 9001:2015, ito po yung designated number for quality management system. Kasi if we talk about environmental management system, ibang number po yung ginagamit doon, 14,001. For occupational safety and health, we have 45,000. For food safety, we have 22,000 and others, no? So ang focus po natin ngayon is quality management system, ISO 9001:2015. And this document specifies the requirements for the quality management system of our organization. This is first published in 1987, okay, by ISO. By the way, anyone know ano po ibig sabihin ng ISO? Pwede po bang mag-unmute? Yan, unmute naman tayo para marinig ko ang inyong golden voice. No? Isa o dalawa po na gustong sumagot. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ng ISO?
Will imagine na ito 50-50.
Pag sumagot po kayo, kindly state your organization and your name para po ma-identify po namin kayo. Sino po ang gustong sumagot? Anong ibig sabihin ng ISO?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Jelly Jam from Benby. So,
Yes, ma'am.
ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization.
Thank you, Ma'am Jelly. Tama po yung sinabi ni Ma'am Jelly, no? International Organization for Standardization. Pero bakit ISO yung ginagamit natin, hindi iOS o hindi iOS, no? 'Di ba? May idea po ba kayo? Bakit kaya instead na iOS, ang ginagamit is ISO? Any idea? Sino po ang gustong sumagot? You may unmute your mic. May idea po tayo bakit ISO instead of iOS? Anyone who would like to answer?
I think, ma'am, from Greek word, ma'am, isosceles.
That's true. Thank you, sir. Sir, may I know your name, sir? You are from Napolcom po, no?
Yes po, ma'am. Thank you po. Si Tony, ma'am, Anthony de Peralta.
Thank you, Sir Tony. That's right, no? ISO is actually a prefix like sinabi ni sir, yung isosceles, isothermal, it means equal. Okay, so if you are an ISO certified, you are equal to other ISO certified company, no matter if your organization is small, big, whether you are here in the Philippines or any other part of the world, as long as you are ISO certified, you are equal with them. No, kasi you are having the same standard. No, ISO means equal. Okay? Kaya kahit na maliit tayong organization, basta tayo ay ISO certified, kapantay natin yung mga multinational companies, no? So, isa po ang Pilipinas sa bumubuo ng ISO body, no? At kasama po tayo whenever there are reviews. In fact, kapag po nagkaroon tayo ng revision, like for example, we have the ISO 9001:2015, ina-adapt po ng ating Philippine National Standard yung kabuuan nung ISO requirement at pinapublish po natin yan locally dito. That's why we have the PNS standard, no? Sa DTI po available yan. So I suggest kung gusto niyo pong mabasa yung requirements, meron po dapat sariling kopya ang inyong organization para yun po yung inyong reference document. Okay? So nagkaroon na po ng 5 revision ng ating ISO 9001 at ngayon po pang-5 na, no, yung 2015 version. Okay? So, ito po yung naging evolution ng ating ISO 9001 from 1987, 1994, 2000, 2008, and 2015 version. Yung first 2 versions natin, 1987 and 1994, ang approach po na ginagamit ng ISO is yung sinasabing procedural approach. No? Ito yung sinasabing write what you do what you write. Kaya nga, kadalasan kapag sinabing ISO certified, ang unang pumapasok sa isip dati ay, papel-papel lang yan. Pakapalan niya ng manual, padamihan niya ng nakasulat. Which is true. Kasi ang approach dati, procedural approach. No? I remember one consultant that I have encountered, no? she is sa financial siya, no? Consultant siya sa accounting consultant. Sabi niya, "Anong tinuturo mo?" Sabi ko, mga ano po, mga ISO related trainings." Puro document lang 'yan, puro sulat 'yan eh, no? Pakapalan ng manual. Kasi dati ang approach procedural. Pero comes 2000 and 2008 hanggang 2015, that procedural approach becomes process approach. And we are not only after writing everything that we are doing, we are determining which among the processes, okay, which among the things that you are doing is relevant for you to provide quality output. No? Yung process, tinitingnan natin, sino lang ba yung significant? Sino lang ba yung effective? Sino lang ba yung kailangan para makapag-provide tayo ng quality output? And we are focusing on the effectiveness of each process. Okay? Gusto natin ma-manage yung ating process kasi kapag hindi effective yung process mo, meron niyang domino effect sa iba pang proseso na nasa loob ng sistema. Tama po ba? Parang sabi nga nila, ang dama ng kalingkingan, ang sakit sa kalingkingan, dama ng buong katawan, no? Kung merong isang proseso na hindi effective, meron niyang impact sa kabuuan ng sistema. No? Kaya ang focus ng 2000 hanggang 2008 version is yung process approach. At pagdating ng 2015, aside from process approach, na-introduce na rin po yung risk-based thinking. And I would say, no, naabutan ko kasi yung 2008 eh. Mas gusto ko yung 2015 because it is more proactive because of the risk-based thinking. Okay? So, nabanggit po natin yung two elements of our ISO 9001:2015. We have the process approach which incorporates the plan, do, check, and act cycle. And we have the risk-based thinking wherein we determine the factors that could cause our processes and our QMS to deviate from planned results. So, hindi pa man nangyayari yung mga problema, we are identifying what are the potential deviation from our plans, from our objectives. And we try to define preventive controls for us to minimize the negative effects. And of course, we also want to grab, no, or we want to maximize any opportunities that we can identify from those risks. So those are the two elements of ISO 9001:2015, process approach and risk-based thinking. We also have to know the different QMS principle, no, or quality management principle. So these principles are the framework, no, the basis for our requirements. So we have the customer focus, number one, kasi ang gusto natin mangyari, di ba po, kaya tayo nag-i-implement ng QMS is to achieve customer satisfaction and later on, maging customer delight kasi ma-exceed natin yung kanilang mga expectations or requirements. Another is the leadership. Okay? Third is the engagement of people. Fourth is process approach, yung nabanggit natin. Fifth is the improvement. Sixth, evidence-based decision-making. And seven, relations management. So ito pong mga principles na ito, very important po, no, na maintindihan natin ang bawat isa para kung sakaling meron tayong clarification do sa requirements, lagi tayong babalik dito sa mga principles na ito. No, halimbawa, customer focus. Ano ba yung dahilan bakit natin ginagawa ang ating QMS? Whether that is internal or external customer, ang ating objective is to meet their expectation, to achieve customer satisfaction. Leadership, that is the pusher, internal pusher, no, ng ating ISO. So kapag weak ang ating leadership, pwedeng mag-fail ang ating quality management system. And ang engagement ng ating people, very important because everyone has role. Very important ang bawat isa para maging effective yung ating implementation at improvement ng ating quality management system. Okay po? So these are the different benefits in implementing our quality management system. First, let's look at the benefits of ISO to our customer. Okay? Of our QMS to our customer. So if we are implementing quality management system, okay, the products and services delivered to our clients are consistently meeting their needs and expectations. So the key word here is consistently. Okay, so hindi tsamba na good quality yung ating naibigay, no? So every time that we deliver, every time that we produce, every time that we provide service, it is always of good quality because we are consistently doing our processes. Okay? Clients may have reduced costs from lost sales due to return, rework, or reject. No? So let's say for example, laging may defect yung ating mga product. So ah, ang effect niya sa ating mga clients, syempre, kung merong delay sa kanilang production, it can result to sales, loss of sales, o kaya naman yung cost of transportation, okay, kapag ire-return or ire-reject or ire-rework yung ating mga produkto, no? And clients may not anymore audit the company, thereby resulting to cost savings. Part ng accreditation, karamihan sa mga organizations ngayon, no, they do audit dun sa kanilang suppliers bago sila mag-engage ng business. Pero kapag nakita nila that you are ISO certified, meron kayong certificate, they are more confident na. So pwedeng hindi na kayo i-audit. And ang effect nun sa kanila, meron din sa kanilang savings, no? Okay? How about the effect of our QMS to the company? Okay? So first, our company may gain market edge. Yan. So yung image. Pero syempre more than the image, ang gusto natin, no, ang gusto natin yung improvement ng ating mga processes. Okay? Pero yun ang kadalasan, no, sa mga na-encounter nating mga clients, isa yan sa mga factors na dahilan kung ba't sila nag-ISO para mag-improve yung kanilang image o para mas makuha nila yung mga clients nila. Kasi kadalasan ngayon, ang hinahanap ISO certified. Okay? Company can reduce operational cost due to improved quality. Tama po yan, ano? Kasi nga, yung mga rework, yung mga defects, okay, yung mga waste na re-reduce natin, yung mga mudas, sabi ng mga Japanese, no? Waste of time, waste of resources, waste of material, okay? Waste of talent. So lahat yan na-address natin kapag nagawa natin effectively yung ating quality management system kapag na-manage natin yung mga processes ng ating quality management system. And of course, our company can manage its risks that could affect their organizational effectiveness and efficiency. We are being more proactive, no? So, mas madali nating na-address yung mga problem. Halimbawa, itong COVID-19. Sino sa inyo ang nakapag-risk assessment na mangyayari yan sa inyong organization at nakapag-prepare? Okay? If you have identified that as one of the risks, hindi pa man yan nangyayari, meron ka ng action plan. So, mabilis kang mag-respond. No? Mami-minimize yung mga negative effect. Mas ma-improve yung ating effectiveness and efficiency. Okay? And of course, our ISO 9001:2015 has benefits to staff, no? So tayo, no, bilang mga empleyado, meron yang benefit sa atin. So we can be better trained using the company standards. So hindi na mangangapa ang mga bisor sa pagte-train. Okay, meron na silang reference document. Pwede mong ipabasa, so mas mabilis ang training, no? Kasi ipabasa mo yung mga document mo. May idea na yung mga newly hired natin kung paano gawin yung kanilang mga proseso, no? The company could be more objective in assessing staff performance, thus preventing bias. So isa ito sa, I would say, magandang benefit, no, pagdating sa mga staff. At sa mga client na na-handle ko, they said na ang pagkakaroon nila ng QMS, natutunan din nila kung paano magkaroon ng objective assessment ng performance ng kanilang mga empleyado. Kasi meron ka ng objectives, may KPIs ka, at lahat ng mga decisions mo are based on evidence. So hindi ka pwedeng manghula, no? Hindi pwedeng favorite lang, dapat merong basihan. Okay? And staff demotivation due to lack of standard can be avoided. Okay, 'di ba ang hirap pumasok sa isang organization na hindi mo alam ano ba yung ine-expect sa iyo, hindi mo alam ano ba yung standard, hindi mo alam kung paano gawin yung iyong trabaho, no? So lalo pa ngayon with the emergence of millennials, no? So dapat mas maging mas may mas concrete yung ating mga processes, mas may standard siya para mas ma-retain natin yung ating mga bagong empleyado. Okay? So, yan po yung mga benefits kapag nag-implement tayo ng ating ISO 9001:2015 sa ating mga customers, sa ating company at sa ating mga staff, sa mga empleyado. Okay, any question po sa ating section 2? Okay? Questions po? Questions? Before we proceed to our section 3, so medyo mahaba-haba ng konti yung ating ISO 9001:2015 requirements, we may have 5 to 10 minute break. Okay, para po kung merong kailangan kayong i-attend, so mabilis lang po. And if you need to get a cup of coffee or have something to eat, so you can do it now. So we'll be giving 10 minutes po for the break. I'll see you po after 10 minutes. Alright, so meron po tayong question dito. Okay, let me just read the question. Okay, so from Sir Napolcom, no, Sir Anthony, what are the instances or grounds where the organization loses its ISO certification? Okay. So, one thing, sir, let's say yung mga pwedeng maging ground para mawala yung ating certification, if we fail to implement the Plan Do Check Act. Let's say, for example, during your surveillance audit, hindi kayo nakakagawa ng inyong internal audit or management review. Okay, so hindi gumagana yung ating Plan Do Check Act at hindi tayo bigay ng corrective action based dun sa timeline na sinet sa atin ng certifying body, that could be a ground para mawala yung ating certification. Or if we fail to migrate kapag nagkaroon na po ng new version, let's say from version 2008, nagkaroon ng version 2015 at hindi po tayo nakapag-transition, yung atin pong certification ng 2008, hindi na po siya valid. No? So, magkakaroon po ulit kayo ng panibagong proseso para ma-certify to 2015 version or to the new version. Okay, so another question po. So I hope nasagot ko po, sir, yung inyong tanong, Sir Anthony. In the PDCA, what does do means? Okay, do means implementation of what was planned. Okay, so pag po sinabi nating do, kung halimbawa meron po tayong mga procedures, mga guidelines na na-document natin during planning, pag nilagyan na po natin yan ng effectivity date, okay, so very important na pag nag-take effect na, nagkaroon na ng effectivity date, starting that date, okay, dapat gawin na yung mga procedures natin, yung mga necessary records dapat ma-generate na natin kasi yun po yung titingnan during the audit. Okay, the implementation of our procedures, policies. Okay, doon na rin natin start na i-measure yung ating performance, doon na rin natin start na i-achieve yung ating mga na-set na objectives. Okay, I hope na-answer ko po, Ma'am Lisa, yung inyong tanong about the meaning of do. Okay, thank you po for those questions. Okay, so kung meron po mga may katanungan, maaari pong i-type natin sa ating chat box para po ma-assist ko po yung inyong mga concerns. Okay, let's now go to our section 3. I'm sure na very excited ang marami, no, para matutunan natin ano ba yung mga hinihinging requirements kasi kanina puro introduction tayo, no. So let's now go to ISO 9001:2015 requirements. Ito po yung mga kailangan nating ma-satisfy para po tayo ay ma-certify to our quality management system. Okay, first thing, we have to understand the process. Okay, ano ba yung tinatawag nating process? Kasi sabi natin, di ba, one of the important element of our ISO 9001:2015 is process approach. Okay, so let's look at the schematic representation of the elements of a single process. So, ito pong nakikita natin ditong activities. Okay, so by definition, process is composed of interrelated activities, okay, that translates input to output. Let's say, for example, purchasing. Purchasing is composed of different activities. Let's say from receiving of your PR, tapos pag hanap ng mga quotation, pag-coordinate sa mga external providers or suppliers, then processing ng inyong PO hanggang sa ma-deliver yung ating request, whether that is product or service. So those are activities that compose the purchasing process. At pag sinabi nating process, meron siyang input at meron siyang output. Yung ating pong mga input, ito yung mga ginagamit natin para ma-execute yung ating proseso. It can be in form of matter, energy, or information. So matter is something tangible, intangible yung ating energy. Information, these are data. Okay? Let's say for example, yung mga specification na ginagamit natin para ma-execute yung ating activity. So yung example natin, yung ating purchasing, so ang ating input doon, pwedeng in a form of matter or information, yung ating PR, kung saan nandoon yung details ng requests. Okay? Let's say, gumagamit ka ng computer, kung yan ay sa perspective ng ISO, ng Environmental Management System, kailangan i-account mo yung energy kasi you're using electricity. Okay, so those are examples of inputs. At kapag natapos na yung iyong activity, meron kang output. So it can also be in a form of matter, energy, or information. So you also need to understand saan ba nanggagaling yung iyong input. It can be a process, okay? Internal process before your process, or an external external source, like for example your supplier. Okay, and your output, you should also understand sino ba yung receiver ng iyong output, kasi lahat ng yan merong mga corresponding requirements and specification at kailangan po natin yung i-manage para masabi natin na effective yung ating process. We have to implement possible controls and checkpoints to monitor and measure the performance of our process para masabi nating effective, no, yung mga processes natin. So that's the schematic representation of elements of a single process. Okay, let's look naman at the representation of the structure of our ISO 9001:2015 in the PDCA cycle. So yung ating plan, do, check, and act. So kung mapapansin po natin, no, meron po tayo diyang mga numbers sa loob ng bawat circle. Ito po yung mga clauses o yung mga requirements ng ating ISO 9001:2015. Okay? So nag-follow po tayo ng PDCA. So we have the planning, that's the plan. Whatever we have documented in our planning must be executed in our support and operation processes, that's the do. And then lahat ng na-implement natin, we have to check through the performance evaluation under clause 9. And the result of our performance evaluation, kung merong mga improvements na kakailanganin, we have to act on that. That is through our clause 10 improvement. Okay? So, dito po sa ating PDCA, meron din po tayong sentro. Sorry. Yung ating pong internal trigger, the center of our PDCA is our leadership, and that is under clause 5. So our leadership has responsibilities and commitment from planning, do, check, and act. Okay? So lahat po yan dapat involve ang ating leadership. So kung meron tayong internal trigger, meron din po tayong external triggers o yung mga inputs sa ating quality management system. First, we have our customer requirements. So syempre siya yung unang-una nating gustong isatisfy. And aside from that, no, with the 2015 version, we're not only looking at the customer requirements, we're also looking at the organizational context and the needs and expectation of other relevant interested parties. And that makes our ISO 9001:2015 version strategic tool. Okay? Kasi tinitingnan na rin natin yung context ng organization and other interested parties and their needs and expectation to our organization. And once na na-process po natin itong ating mga inputs na ito using our PDCA, meron tayong output, we have the customer satisfaction, the results of our QMS, dito papasok yung achievement ng ating mga KPIs and targets, and we have the products and services. Okay? So ito po yung kabuuan ng ating QMS. Kung titingnan po natin ang bawat requirements na yan from clause 4 to 10, Okay, actually, our ISO 9001:2015 has 10 clauses. Pero ang auditable po o yung hahanapin sa atin ng mga auditors ay magsisimula sa clause 4. Yung clause 1, 2, and 3, these are just descriptive part of the standard, meaning it gives us an introduction of what QMS is all about. Saan ba yung ano ba yung mga industry, yung applicability ng ating ISO 9001:2015, that's a scope. Their normative references, ano ba yung mga documents na pwede nating tingnan para mas maintindihan natin yung ating requirements, and the terms and definitions for the different terminologies, no, used in our requirements. So itong clauses 1, 2, and 3, hindi po yan ino-audit. Ang ino-audit po ay yung clause 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At ito po yung bibigyan natin ng overview for this morning sa ating section 3. By the way, nasa overview lang po tayo kasi if we are to run this understanding of the requirements, it takes one whole day. Okay po? And as far as I know, our team is also preparing for public webinars, no, for the understanding of these requirements na naka-module siya para i-discuss po natin per clause. Okay po? So our clause 4 is the context of the organization. Leadership is our clause 5. Clause 6 is planning. 7 is support. Clause 8 is operation. Clause 9 is performance evaluation. And clause 10 is improvement. At kung babalikan natin ito ating PDCA, yung PDCA nag-start siya sa clause 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Okay? Yung clause 5, that is the internal trigger. Okay, so siya yung nagpapaikot ng PDCA internally at meron din tayong external trigger. Ito naman yung ating clause 4 plus our customer requirements. So ganun po natin magandang makita yung requirements para mas madali natin siyang maintindihan. Kasi ang dami po niyan, ano, pag binuksan mo yung standard, ang daming numbers, ang daming nakasulat, no? Pero ang bottom line lang niyan, PDCA. Naka-plan, do, check, act po siya. Okay, so let's start with clause 4. The context of the organization. So this clause 4, this requirement has 4 sub-clauses. Okay, when we say sub-clauses, ito yung mas detalyadong requirements. So from clause 4.0, meron tayong 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4. In this clause, we want to make sure that our quality management system impacts the company strategically because we are using the context of the organization. We are looking at the business organization of our company. The business environment of our company, the external and internal forces affecting our company's operation. Okay? So, at saka yung mga interested parties like regulatory bodies, mga NGOs, mga suppliers natin, lahat yan, no, nabibilang dito sa interested parties. Tinitingnan natin ang mga yan, no, as input to our quality management system. At yan po yung magde-define ng scope ng ating QMS, yung mga processes, no. From the scope, we can define the different processes that we have to manage, no, under our quality management system. Okay? So, meron pong nagtatanong, no? So, from Albatech Engineering, sabi dito, need po bang i-internal audit si QMR? Yes, sir. QMR is part of the top management at yan po ang kasunod nating pag-uusapan sa section 5. Clause 5, no? Clause 5 is about leadership. Our quality management representative or our QMR is the designated person, no, to handle or to oversee the establishment, the implementation, and the improvement of our quality management system. Okay, so siya yung representative ng top management. At ang clause 5 po, ino-audit po yon, kaya si QMR po ay na-audit under the leadership. Okay po? So in clause 5, okay, this as what I have mentioned earlier, the leadership is the hub or the center of our PDCA wheel. Okay? So yan yung ating internal driver. Okay? So our leadership drives our organization towards consistent quality products and services, process effectiveness, and customer satisfaction. So sa lahat naman po, kahit saang proyekto, kahit saang organization, ang bola lagi nasa leadership, 'di ba po? Kapag very supportive, very committed ang ating leadership, we are sure that there will be success, no? Ganun din sa ating QMS. Okay? And in our leadership clause, clause 5, we have here 3 sub-clauses. So we have here the general, the management commitment, we have the quality policy. So ang atin pong quality policy, since this is the statement of commitment, nanggagaling po yan sa ating top management. At ang ating top management ang nagsiset ng roles, responsibilities, and authorities sa mga mag-handle ng ating quality management system, including our MR. Okay? Next is clause 5. We are now entering the PDCA. So sorry, clause 6, no? Next is clause 6. So we are entering our PDCA. Clause 6 is about planning. So this clause ensures integrating risk-based thinking to planning process. So dito po ngayon pumapasok yung ating risk and opportunity management. So kung naabutan niyo po yung previous version ng ating QMS, wala po yung risk and opportunity management, no? Kasi yung risk na yan, dati yan yung preventive action na nasa dulo na, nasa act. Pero ngayon, sa 2015 version, sa planning pa lang, you are trying to identify the potential problem and you are trying to identify the opportunities that will help you achieve your objectives. Yung risk, we can use that term to denote yung mga unwanted events that results to events that result to negative impact, no, that can result to an achievement of our objectives. Okay, so kung naka-attend po kayo ng mga previous training namin on risk and opportunity management, okay, nung last year nag-conduct po kami niyan, part of the compliance to our clause 6, no, of our ISO 9001:2015. I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, we have this January another run of the risk and opportunity management. So mamaya announce po yan ni Ms. Vian. There are different ways on how to do risk and opportunity management, but Q Plus have developed its framework, no? So meron tayong qualitative at saka quantitative way of doing that. Pag sinabi natin qualitative, ito yung sinasabi, yung risk mo ba is high, medium, or low? Or pag sinabi mo naman quantitative, lalagyan mo yan ng numbers in terms of severity and likelihood of occurrence. Ilan yung score? And then ika-calculate mo yung score na yon. From the score, you can identify the significant risks and the not significant risks. Of course, we have to prioritize yung significant kasi yun yung malaking impact sa ating organization, ano? So if you want to know more about risk and opportunity management, so mamaya po, i-announce po natin yung ating schedule for that. Then after po natin na ma-assess yung ating risk and opportunity, kasama po yan sa i-consider natin sa pag-set ng ating objectives and targets. And of course, for us to be able to achieve yung ating objectives and targets, magkakaroon po tayo ng action plans, no? Ito po yung ating mga programs, okay? Para ma-achieve yung ating mga key performance indicators and targets that will be set during our planning clause. Okay? So for our clause 7, ito naman po yung ating start ng do o ng implementation. Okay? This is the support clause. This ensures that we are effectively management the support processes. Under clause 7, we have 5 sub-clauses. We have the resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. Under the resources, meron din tayo dyang 6 na sub-clauses. So nandyan po yung ating people, infrastructure, nandyan yung ating awareness, nandyan yung ating communication, nandyan din yung ating nandyan din yung ating organizational knowledge and measuring resources, no? So yung lahat ng asset na kailangan nating i-manage, na nakasulat po yan, yung requirement nun sa clause 7.1. 7.2 is about competence, okay? Yung skills, knowledge, education of the people doing the different processes in our QMS. So it's very important na meron tayong standard competency requirement, then and we are able, kung merong gaps dun sa competency ng incumbent at saka dun sa standard, dapat meron tayong intervention. We are also able to assess the effectiveness of that intervention, and all records of training must be retained, no? That's part of the competence. Actually, kanina na-mention natin during the clause 5, ano, sa leadership, at kasama dun sa na-mention ni Sir kanina, meron tayong QMR, yung ating quality management representative, yung iba call it QMS manager. That person should be competent, no? So meron tayong mga trainings to make them competent, no? We have designed a training for the development of our management representative para mas maging effective siya in handling or in overseeing our quality management system. Next, we have the awareness, and we have the communication, whether internal or external. We have to make sure that effective yung ating communication, kasi crucial din yan, ano, para maging effective yung ating implementation. And of course, we have the documented information. Maybe some of you are looking for the terms records and documents. Okay, these records and documents are now under the general term documented information. So yung dating control of records, control of documents, isang clause na lang po siya under control of documented information. O yung CDI, no, may training na din na kinakandak niyan si Q+, no. Here, sinasabi sa ating standard that from creation, storage, preservation, down to disposal, there should be a control. Kasi itong documented information na ito, this can serve as references for us to effectively implement our processes, and this can also serve as evidences, no? Pag nagtanong ang auditor, ito po yung katibayan na ginawa namin yung aming mga proseso. So, meron po yung mga requirements sa bawat subclause na yan. Okay? Next, we have Clause 8, the operation. This is actually the heart of our PDCA. Dito na po yung pag-provide natin ng ating products and services. Okay? So this clause is all about operational processes. So yung ating mga customer requirements, we are able to translate that into customer satisfaction through the operational processes. And our clause 8 has 7 sub-clauses. Okay, so starting with the operational planning and control, that is the overview of clause 8. Then we have the requirements related to the customers. Okay, that is our clause 8.2. Then we have the requirements related to our external provider. By the way, the term used now for suppliers, no, are sa bagong version is external provider. And it includes not only the provider of the products, but also provider of processes and services. So lahat ng may kinalaman sa ating mga suppliers, okay, yung ating purchasing, okay, accreditation, supplier evaluation, this will fall under 8.4, control of externally provided processes, products, and services. And we also have the operation itself, no? So dito papasok yung design and development of products and services. Let's say you are in manufacturing and you are designing your products for your customer. So you have to comply with 8.3 requirements. 8.5 is about how you provide your products and services. Okay, ano ba yung mga work instruction, available ba? Yung prevention for human error, traceability, preservation of quality, even your post-delivery services, that's part of 8.5. Okay, so regardless whether you are in the service sector or you are in manufacturing sector, 8.5 is applicable to all of us. Then, Clause 6 is about QA processes, no? Ito naman po yung mga ginagawa ng ating Quality Assurance Department before they release the products and services papunta sa ating clients. Okay, meron tayong final checking, meron tayong final inspection, o meron tayong final approval. Dito po yan papasok sa release of products and services. And during our QA processes, pag meron tayong na-detect na mga non-conforming outputs, mga defective items, or mga non-conforming services, we have to do something about it. We have to control it, no? It can be through different ways like rework. It can be through segregation, okay? So those are part of the control of non-conforming output. So that's under 8.7. So para po maging effective yung ating operation, we have to follow all this, no? If your organization is not designing, no? Let's say, for example, yung mga services ninyo, define na yan, ano? Let's say, yung sa ating government sector, kadalasan yung mga services natin, mandated siya, so you are not designing it. So, pwedeng not applicable sa atin yung 8.3. And we have to define that in our scope. Okay? Another requirement, so we are now in check. Okay, again, i-recap natin, ano yung P, that is clause 6, nandun yung ating risk, objectives, and action plans. Yung ating do, nandun yung ating support operation and our product and service provision, clauses 7 and 8. And for our check, we have the clause 9, the performance evaluation, wherein we want to evaluate the performance and effectiveness of our quality management system through different methods like monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation, internal audit, and management review. Each of these boxes represents subclause under clause 9. So monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation is 9.1. 9.2 is internal audit, and 9.3 is management review. Okay? So meron po tayo ditong tanong, no, na pumasok. So for documented information po, what if may ongoing revision po sa format ng process and inabutan ng schedule ng surveillance audit? Possible po ba na makonsider siya sa major or minor findings? Okay. So kung halimbawa po hindi pa completely nare-revise yung inyong mga format ng inyong process, hindi naman po siya magiging NC kung meron po kayong mapapakitang evidence na subject po yan for planning. Okay? Ipakita nyo lang po yung evidence ng status dun sa inyong planning side, 'di ba, bago po kayo magkaroon ng revision ng inyong mga processes, meron po kayo diyang plan, activities, timeline, person in charge. So, yun pong document na yun, ipakita ninyo together with the update of the status and the evidence kung ano na po yung naabutan or ano na po, saan na po kayo dun sa revision na yon. Okay, so understandable naman po yon sa ating mga surveillance auditors kasi matutuwa nga po sila nun kasi ibig sabihin your quality management system is working. Ibig sabihin meron kayong continual improvement. But make sure lang that your plans and the status of your plans are documented. Kasi kung hindi pa yan tapos, yung kalahati na hindi pa natapos, pwede po yung evaluate next visit. Okay? So that's from Sir Mark Brian Venezuela. Okay. I hope nasagot ko po, Sir Mark, yung inyong katanungan. Okay, so thank you po for that question. So again po, no, ang importante lang po, kapag tayo in-audit, mapakita natin na gumagana yung ating PDCA. So kung meron kang plan, halimbawa yung sinasabi ni Sir na revision, may plan ka, so meron ka definitely implementation nun, at kung naabutan ka sa kalagitnaan ng implementation, so dapat ipakita mo lang na meron kang monitoring, meron kang checking, nasan ka na sa status na yon. Okay? So dapat lang meron kang mga evidences. Okay po? So ito po yung ating clause 9. Very important yung performance evaluation kasi kapag walang nag-check, anong tendency? Especially kung bago ka palang nag-i-implement ng QMS, ang tendency babalik dun sa nakasanayan, di ba? So dapat i-remind natin from time to time the standards, the proper way of doing things. That's why we have internal audit. Okay, during internal audit, ito po yung pamamaraan para yung organization mai-prepare din niya ang kanyang sarili bago ma-subject sa certifying body audit, no? So kapag mas magaling ang yung mga internal auditor, ibig sabihin nun, mas matitinik yan, ano? Nakita na nila dapat yung mga dapat na improvements bago pa man tayo magkaroon ng certifying body audit. Para pagdating sa certifying body audit, ang titingnan na lang nila corrective action. Okay? Management review together with the top management, no? nire-report natin yung result ng ating monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation, and the result of internal audit para malaman nila kamusta na ba yung improvement ng ating QMS at mabigyan ng kaukulang desisyon para magkaroon ng continual improvement, no, yung ating quality management system. Okay? And last clause is improvement, clause 10. This is our act, no? This clause ensures that improvement initiative is not only limited to corrective action but also to other improvement approaches. In our clause 10, we have actually 3 sub-clauses. 10.1 is about general, so doon parang introduction lang about what are the what is improvement clause all about at ano yung mga yung importance, no? Why do we need to do improvement? 10.2 is about corrective action and correction. Okay, these are the actions that we usually that the organization has to do whenever we encounter non-conformity or meron tayong mga unfulfilled requirements, no? Yung mga NC. Okay, so yung correction, ito yung ating immediate action. Corrective action, this is based on the root cause, no? So dito sa corrective action, dito papasok yung ating root cause analysis. So meron tayong mga tools diyan, ano, mga problem solving tools. And the objective of our corrective action is to prevent the recurrence of the problem. Okay, so para hindi na maulit yung problema. Kasi kung halimbawa, meron kang na-encounter na NC, tapos the following audit, ayun pa din siya, hindi naulit siya. Ibig sabihin, siguro sa isip mo, gumawa naman ako ng action, bakit siya naulit? Possible na ang ginawa mong action, correction lang, immediate lang, pansamantala, no? Band-aid solution. Pero kung halimbawa, ang ginawa mo, corrective action, tama yung root cause mo, na-address mo yan, dapat ang result, hindi na maulit yung problema. And that is what we want to have, no, sa ating QMS. Pag sinabi nating nag-work ang ating Plan, Do, Check, Act, although meron tayong mga non-conformities, we are able to address it through our corrective action process. Okay? 10.3 is about other means of improving our quality management system, including continual improvement. Okay, wherein during the analysis and evaluation of your process, may makikita kang improvement. So, pwede mong i-implement kahit hindi pa yan makita during the audit. Okay, other means, innovation, breakthrough change, and reorganization, and others. Okay, so, again, ang gusto nating makita, umiikot yung ating Plan, Do, Check, Act. Okay lang merong non-conformity, na wala namang sistemang perpekto. Pero ang masama, kapag yung non-conformity mo, hindi mo na-address. Kapag paulit-ulit siya, ibig sabihin, hindi kumpleto yung PDCA, nawawala yung act, nawawala yung corrective action. Okay? So kanina, tanong ni Sir, no, posible bang mawala? Posible, kapag hindi umikot yung PDCA natin. Okay? So just to have a recap of our requirements, okay, we have 2 important elements for our ISO 9001:2015. We have the process approach and we have the risk-based thinking. Okay, and since our ISO 9001:2015 is now considered strategic tool, we can use this tool, no, para maging sustainable, no, sustainable yung ating QMS. So hindi lang tayo nakadepende kung ano yung sasabihin ng customer. Tinitingnan din natin ano pa yung ibang mga factors sa ating business environment. Like yung binanggit natin kanina, mga external forces, political, economic, socio-cultural, no, na pwedeng makaapekto sa ating operation. And other relevant parties that also has expectation from our organization. Okay? So gusto natin maging sustainable yung ating quality management system. And of course, ayaw natin na gagana lang yung PDCA kapag nandyan yung audit, no? Sabi nga natin kanina, quality is a habit. It's a lifestyle. So our quality management system should be part of our daily activities. Okay? And then we have here, the ISO 9001:2015 ensures that the established QMS in the organization considers our organizational context. Kasi that makes it a strategic tool. Okay? Any question po sa requirements? So, pasensya na po, hindi po talaga naka-design yung ating webinar na isa-isahin yung mga requirements kasi just like what I've told you earlier, it will take one day, no? Para po isa-isahin yung mga requirements from clause 4.1, sorry, down to clause 10.3. Okay, at meron po yung mga workshops. Okay po? So, just ano lang po, be informed na lang po kapag merong pag-open na po yung ating yung ating premium webinar on the uh, on the on the a discussion of the extensive discussion of the different requirements of our QMS. We also do in-house training, no? So para po mas contextualize yung ating discussion dun sa specific services or specific products na ino-offer ng inyong organization, you might also want us to conduct in-house training for you. Okay? So let's now proceed to section 4. Kung wala na po tayong katanungan sa section 3, anyway, if you have questions, please feel free to type in your questions sa ating chat box and I will read it and attend to that concern. Okay, so after knowing all the requirements, yung overview, Miss Jen, ano nang gagawin namin? Gusto naming magpa-set up ng ISO. Okay, so these are the steps, no, on how we can assist you. Okay, step 1 is planning and awareness. So it starts with gap analysis. So paano po ba yung gap analysis? So meron pong consultant na pupunta sa inyong organization, ibabangga yung inyong current implementation, mga existing practices, yung mga existing implementation ninyo against the standard. Dito po titingnan natin ano pa yung mga kulang, mga improvements na kailangan nating gawin, ano yung mga trainings na kailangan nating i-conduct, at dito po i-design kung ano-ano yung mga activities na pwede naming o yung mga services na pwede naming i-assist sa inyo, no? So magbibigay kami ng mga recommendations during gap analysis. Next step is the appointment of roles. Okay? So dito na po yung kanina nabanggit natin yung 5.3, no, yung mga roles and responsibilities. So dito po kailangan mag-appoint ang ating top management ng ISO champion, ng ating QMR or yung ating quality management representative, steering committee, okay? Yung ating documentation team, internal quality audit team, and our document controller. So very crucial po yung mga roles na ito para maging effective yung ating pag-establish, implementation, and continuous improvement of our quality management system. That's why dito po sa mga roles na ito, kailangan din make sure natin na they are competent enough, no, to handle their respective roles, no. So ang top management, mamimili sila kung sino yung tao na nakikita nilang capable to handle this roles, and these persons must must be trained to be more effective dun sa kanilang mga appointment. So like for example, our management representatives, no, we have the training for the competency development of our management representatives. We also have trainings on internal quality audit. We usually do it in-house para mas ma-contextualize, no, and usually we do mock audit, no, kaya yung internal quality audit usually this is in-house. And then we also have training for document controllers, yung control of documented information training. Okay? So para po ma-assist not only the document controller but even the organization, no, yung iba pa nating process owner, on how to manage our records and our documents. Okay? So tingnan po natin, mukhang meron po tayong meron pong nag-chat, no? Need po ba talaga ng gap analysis? What if wala pong gap analysis? Okay. Important po yung gap analysis para po guided tayo kung ano yung mga kulang. Kasi again, we are looking at the standard. So para masabi natin ano pa yung mga kailangan natin against the standard, ikukumpara natin yung actual at saka yung standard. Yun po yung sinasabi nating gap analysis. Okay? You can also do that internally if your team is confident and trained naman po kayo for the requirements of the ISO. Pwede po kayo po yung gumawa ng gap analysis. So ikukumpara lang niyo po yung mga existing practices, documents against the standard. Okay, para po mas mas guided tayo, makapagbuo tayo ng definite plan at meron po ma-set din po natin yung timeline kung hanggang kailan natin siya ma-achieve. Okay po. So, if need, I would say it is a need. No need po yung gap analysis. That's from QCPD, Ma'am Lucille. Thank you po for that question. I hope na address ko po yung inyong tanong. Okay, so moving on. So last part of our, another part of our planning and awareness, okay, after the appointment of roles, we have the company-wide awareness training. So ito na po yung may mga trainings tayo on risk and opportunity management. We have the trainings on how to document. We have trainings on control of documented information. No? So lahat po yan, and even the understanding of context of the organization, dito rin siya papasok. Okay, so ito po yung normal or ito po yung prescribed QMS structure ni Q+, no? Again, pag nakalimutan ko po pala sabihin, pag binasa niyo po yung ating ISO standard, makikita niyo lang po doon yung requirements na kailangan nyong i-address. But how to do that, wala po dun sa ating ISO requirement. Ang nakalagay lang po doon, what? No? Ano yung mga requirements na kailangan mong i-satisfy? But what are the tools? How to do that? Wala pong specific ang ISO, no? At kaya po merong freedom ang bawat organization kung ano yung mga tools na gusto nilang gamitin, no, to address the requirements. There are different tools available in the market, best practices from different industries, and those are part of the tools that we normally give to our clients, no, whenever we assist them in setting up their quality management system. Okay, going back to our QMS structure, so sabi ko ito yung ating prescribed structure. So we have here the QMS champion. Ito po yung ating top management. Nag-a-appoint siya ng QMS manager, QA team, internal quality audit team, the controller of documented information. So ito po yung mga roles. And then we have the steering committee per department. So sila yung mini o sila yung QMR sa bawat department nila. At sila yung nag-oversee ng documentation and the implementation of QMS per department. Yan, kasi masyadong malawak kung iisa-isahin pa yan ni QMR. So si QMR, nag-oversee siya ng kabuuan. Okay? Now let's go to step 2. So after po nung ating appointment of roles and mga trainings, okay, so we are now to design and develop our QMS. Okay, so here we have to come up with the documents to satisfy the context of the organization. So may mga tools tayo dyan, like the PESEL, SWOT, and the list of interested parties. Then we also draft our quality policy. We develop our business process map and SIPOC diagrams. These are these are process mapping tools that we recommend para mas maging process approach yung ating documentation. SIPOC means supplier, input, process, output, customer. So in each process, you have to define your SIPOC diagram. You have to define the input and the supplier of your input, and the output and the recipient of your output, which is yung customer ng iyong process. Okay? After developing your business process map and SIPOC diagrams, you have to conduct the risk and opportunity assessment, and you have to write down your quality objectives. Okay? So that's part of the QMS planning. We also need to establish the necessary documented information like the QMS manual, procedures, and support documents. So in the 2015 version, these are called maintained documented information or our documents. Okay? So ito yung mga references natin para implement tayo ng ating QMS. And we also have records. Ito naman yung result ng implementation, the evidences. So these are termed as retained documented information. So yan po yung mga kailangan nating i-establish during planning. Okay? Before we implement, we have to cascade our QMS documentation to all levels of organization. So this is a crucial part, I would say, kasi kapag nag-start na yung ating implementation, dapat alam na ng staff kung ano yung gagawin niya. Alam na niya kung paano i-fill out yung mga forms, no? So that would be part of our QMS deployment or the cascading of our QMS documentation. That is our step 3. So pag natapos na yung ating deployment, this is the time that we implement our QMS. The staff are expected to conform to our QMS documentation. Kasi starting from the time na magkaroon ng effectivity date yung inyong mga documents, auditable na yung lahat ng records ninyo. Meaning, titingnan na yan at i-check ng inyong mga auditors. So that's the do, no? The check part is the QMS audit, review, and improvement. So here, we conduct internal audit, corrective action, and management review. So bawat phase po dito, meron po yung corresponding training. So we have a training on internal quality audit, corrective action process, and we have the coaching on management review. Okay, for the internal quality audit, ito yung medyo mahigpit si Q+, no? Pag nagkakanda kami nito, kasi we have exams. So dapat makapasa yung aming participant dun sa exam para magkaroon siya ng certificate of completion. At yun yung kadalasang criteria ng mga organization para maging internal audit yung isang employee. Okay? In the event na hindi siya makapasa sa exam, meron pa rin naman siyang certificate, pero certificate of attendance lang. Tapos ang internal quality audit training, usually ita sa mock audit, and meron po yung mga workshops to prepare the participants, no, on how to handle their individual audits. Okay? So if after po, ito na po yung kabuuan ng ating PDCA, no? So after internal audit, you have your management review and you have your corrective action. So the result of your management review will determine if you are ready for the ISO 9001:2015 certification process. If you are in a consultancy project with Q+, after your management review, meron kaming ginagawang pre-certification audit. That pre-certification audit is our final inspection, kumbaga, no? Yan yung aming final QA. Para kami din confident na ready na tayo for our certification audit. And if you are first time, no, to get certified, meron dalawang stage yan. Meron tayong stage 1, that's the desk audit. So, i-check lang yung mga documents ninyo. Then stage 2 is the actual audit, kasama na yung checking ng mga references. So, dyan na yung checking ng documents at saka ng implementation at saka yung mga records natin. So, pag sinabi ng inyong certifying body, you are certified, you are recommended for certification, ibig sabihin nun, certified na kayo. Pero syempre, wala pa yung certificate kasi yung report nila, dadalhin pa yan sa kanilang mother office, which is usually abroad, at yun yung magre-review, no, kung talagang yun yung magre-review ng report. Pero pag sinabi nilang you are recommended, ano na yun, sure na yun na kayo ay certified. Okay? So, yan po yung proseso para tayo ay makapag-prepare sa ating certification. Okay? Questions po? I'm sure yung ating mga certified, pinagdaanan, yung mga certified na po natin, ano, yung mga companies that are already certified to ISO management system, na pagdaanan natin itong mga proseso na ito. Okay. So there are negative culture that prevents effective QMS implementation. So ito po yung mga factors na dapat i-minimize natin or i-avoid natin. First is lack of self-discipline. Okay, so syempre kapag meron na tayong standard, dapat susundin na natin 'yon, no? Lack of respect to authority. So kung sino yung mga roles and authorities na dinefine or inappoint ng ating top management, of course we have to follow yung mga isiset nilang standards, no? At kadalasan naman before they set standard, that is they usually ask, no, consult, no, yung process owner. Ano pa yung culture that prevents effective QMS implementation? Not innovative. Yan, no? So kung ano yung nakasanayan. Ito kadalasan na-encounter namin to kapag bago pa lang, no, yung ating mga, yung magpapa-certify, sabihin, ma'am, 10 years na namin itong ginagawa, okay na itong pamamaraan na to, no? So dapat mas maging open tayo for improvement. We have to be innovative, no? Isa nga yun sa criteria actually dun sa competitive index, 'di ba? So yung pagiging innovative natin, we are able to do our processes in a different manner na mas magiging efficient, mas magiging effective, no? And kasama din dito sa culture yung not nationalistic. Yung tipong gawa ka lang ng gawa, nagrereklamo ka, walang ginagawa ang gobyerno, pero pag chinek mo, kamusta ba yung quality ng iyong work? No? Are you doing your best? Are you excellent in your work? Kasi kung hindi ka excellent, it's as if you are not nationalistic. You're not contributing for the wellness of the country, no? You are not contributing to the overall to the performance, no, ng ating organization that will lead to improvement of our economic condition. Okay, another is lack of passion for excellence. Sabi nga nila, good is the enemy of better. Pagkasabi mo, okay na to. So, mahirap na mag-improve yun kapag nandun ka lang sa ganong mindset, no? Okay? So, hindi lang tayo dapat okay na to. Yung customer satisfaction mo later on, dapat mag-evolve yan to customer delight. Yan. Okay, so meron po tayong tanong from PSHS. In terms of writing QMS procedure, should it be bottoms up approach? I mean, it will be the process owners who will determine the procedure. That's the best way po to document. So, pwedeng si process owner muna yung magsulat nung process, pero kailangan yan mag-subject to review and approval para ma-check din po ng supervisor at ng manager kung yun bang actual na ginagawa nila ay tama, no? Kasi minsan yung nakasanayan natin, akala natin yun na yung standard. Pero meron pa palang improvement. So pwedeng mag-umpisa tayo sa actual na ginagawa, and from there tingnan natin ano yung mga improvements. Yan. So from bottom, okay, sa process owner, tapos i-review ng supervisor, tapos i-approve ng ating manager para ma-incorporate natin yung mga best practices, yung standards, no? Ma-check din natin siya kung yan ay nag-conform ba dun sa ating ISO requirements. Okay? I hope na answer ko po, Ma'am Julie, yung inyong katanungan. Okay. So ito po yung comparison lang between Filipino culture and Japanese culture, knowing that Japanese culture is excellent, no, when it comes to quality. In fact, sila yung kadalasang bini-benchmark natin sa mga practices, like yung mga 5S, yung mga iba't ibang mga means to be efficient and effective, no, at yung pagkakaroon ng quality products, no. So makikita natin nasa Japan yan, no. So let's have a short comparison between Filipino culture and Japanese culture. Okay, ano ba yung kaibahan? Bakit ganun kalayo yung quality nila kumpara sa ilan, no, na meron tayo? Kasi I would say magaganda rin naman ang ating mga quality, no? At I would say na sa ngayon na nagkakaroon na tayo ng quality mindset, nagiging globally competitive yung ating mga products. So these are some of the negative and positive culture. So ang mga Japanese people daw, patriotic, they support their own products. Tayo meron pa rin pagka-colonial mentality. Pag sinabing gawang abroad, mas maganda. Tama po ba? Sana hindi na ganun, ano? Next, ang Japanese punctual. Tayo, may tinawag pa tayong Filipino time, no? Pero pag sinabi natin kasing Filipino time, late yon. Innovative ang mga Japanese people, tayo magaling tayo mag-imitate, no? Kahit nga sa pagkanta, di ba? Plakadong-plakado, ganun tayo kagaling. Pero sana ma-develop din natin yung pagiging innovative. Dumami yung mga innovations natin. Okay, Japanese, respect for authority and discipline. Filipinos daw, bawal tumawid dito, may namatay na. Nakikita niyo siguro yan, ano? So, it only entails disrespect to authority. Okay? For Japanese people, customer is God. And when you are serving God, you're giving your best, di ba? Kasi they believe that their customer is the creator of their business. Okay? Tayo, no return, no exchange. Uso pa ba to? No return, no exchange within 7 days. Okay? So, basta walang receipt, hindi na ma-exchange, ganun ba? So, some, no? May ganun pa din. Japanese people, women are second-class citizen. For Filipinos, empowered ang mga women, no? So, in some parts of Japan, may ganyan pa ring mindset. Next, sa Japanese people, para makapag-interact ka sa kanila, you have to learn Nihongo. Tayo, kahit saan tayo dalhin, kaya nating mag-adapt dun sa kanilang language, no? We speak better English, no? Ang gagaling mag-English ng mga Filipino. Then, Japanese, yun nga lang, no? Meron silang ganitong mindset, harakiri. Tayo naman, very hopeful. Habang may buhay, may pag-asa. So, those are the comparison, no? So, maybe some of these differences would tell us kung bakit ganun din yung mindset natin when it comes to quality. Okay? So this is our final challenge. Medyo malapit na pong matapos yung ating webinar. So if you have questions, please feel free to type in your questions, no, para bago po matapos yung aking presentation ay ma-address ko po kayo. Okay? So our final challenge, okay? Breaking the wrong culture starts with self, no? Tama po ba? Para mabago ang kultura, sino yung unang mababago? Ang sarili natin. Okay? Sabi dito, if you change, everything changes. Pwede ko po bang i-request ang bawat isa na mag-unmute at basahin po natin itong sentence na to, no? So, instead na sabihin you, sabihin natin I. Yan. Pwede po ba? Okay, ready na po tayo? Sabay-sabay po tayo. 1, 2, 3. If
I change.
Everything changes.
Ready po tayo dyan?
Yes.
So, wag po tayo maghanap ng change dun sa iba. Tingnan muna natin ano yung pwede nating ipagbago. Kasi yun lang yung pwede nating i-control, yung sarili natin. Yung ibang tao, hindi natin sila pwedeng i-control. Okay? People are attracted to your testimony and let your integrity be your authority. Walk the talk. Hindi lang tayo magaling magsalita. More than our words, dapat mas makita yan sa ating action. Okay. So, to end our discussion, okay, the presentation, again, I'd like to ask yung participation ng bawat isa. This is a short poem ba to, no? From Mahatma Gandhi. This is entitled Be Customer Focused. So para mas ma-embrace natin yung quality mindset, sabay-sabay po nating basahin itong sinabi ni Mahatma Gandhi. Ready na po ba tayo? Okay? Dito po tayo mag-start a customer. Okay? 1, 2, 3. A customer
is the most
important visitor on our premises. They're not dependent on us. We are dependent on them. It's not interruption in our work. It's the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it.
We're not doing him a
Doing
favor
him a favor by serving him.
giving us an
Doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. Diba? So, be customer focused, no? Kung ano yung tingin mo sa customer mo, ganun yung klase ng service na ibibigay mo sa kanila. Tama po ba? Tama po ba? So, with that, may katanungan pa po ba tayo? Medyo nag-extend po, pasensya na po Mahaba po talaga, no? Kaya pinigil ko nga po yung sarili ko na mag-explain pa Pero in reality po, mahaba po talaga yung discussion na ito. Okay, any question pa po? Questions? Questions? So, I think wala na pong katanungan. Kung wala na pong tanong, can I see your thumbs up? Reactions naman po dyan. Yan. Thumbs up po kung wala nang tanong. Yes, thank you po for those reaction sa mga nag-on ng kanilang video. Thank you so much. And with that, I'll turn you over to Miss Vian for some announcements and for the rest of the webinar activities. Thank you so much for your active participation, and I hope to see you again in our future webinars.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jen, and of course to everyone who participated our QFFEE talk. Power Talk on Introduction and ISO 9001:2015 Quality Management System. So a reminder to everyone, you can now answer the feedback form for this webinar. Kindly just click the link that we have sent on the chat box. And also a reminder to everyone that the recording of this webinar will be uploaded on the YouTube channel of Quality Plus. So now may I request everyone to please open their cameras for our Zoom group picture. So this group picture will be also posted on our social media pages. All right, thank you. And we are also inviting everyone to join our exclusive online community. If you are not yet a member, just type in Quality Plus online community on Facebook. Here you will see updates, our webinar schedules and details, and other relevant information. You can already click the link that we have sent on the chat box to join our online community. And you can now also subscribe on our YouTube channel. Kindly just search Quality Plus TV on YouTube, or you can just click the link that we have sent on the chat box. So we post our recorded QP talks or free webinars there, and some other relevant videos that might also help you and your team. You can now avail our ebook on ISO 9001 QMS, Part 1, Understanding ISO 9001:2015 Requirements for only 495 pesos. Yeah, it is only 495 pesos. So if you are interested, you can send your inquiries on the email or the phone numbers given on the poster, which is on your screen. And we would also like to take this opportunity to invite everyone for our upcoming premium webinars. For the month of January, we'll have risk management that will be on January 18 to 20. We will also have control of documented information, which will be on January 25. And lastly, we will have management representative skills development, which will be on January 27. So these are the webinars that Ms. Jen have mentioned a while ago that we will be needing para mas maging effective tayo sa pag-set up ng ating quality management system. It is to help us on setting up, implementing, and improving our quality management system. So if you're interested, you can just also inquire sa mga phone numbers or email na nasa screen niyo po. For the month of February, we will have Six Sigma, Lean Management, and Integrating Lean and Six Sigma. For the month of March, we will have Supply Chain Management, Strategic Warehousing and Inventory Management, and Production Planning and Control. So these posters are also posted on our website, Facebook page, and other social media pages. So if you're interested, you can visit.
Supply chain. Purchasing.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.